Thanks, Tom. So some of the things that Tom spoke about were device IDs, and he talked about GPS targeting, as well as post-back conversion tracking. Where do you get mobile IDs from, and how do you bring them to the platform? So let's say you're a mobile developer, you either have an app or you have a game, and you have a list of device IDs, right? You have a list of people that have installed your app before, and let's say you want to retarget them. So that's where you would come in, and then here you just create a new audience. You can upload device IDs, and then there, if you have a comma separated or a line delimited file, you can just upload your device IDs and then retarget them. So that's one way of getting device IDs, collecting device IDs and bringing them onto the system. But it's a little bit different in mobile. In mobile, you have to capture the device ID in a different way. So either somebody clicks on one of your ads, or you actually have that device ID already and you bring it into the system. The other thing is conversion tracking. So conversion tracking is typically done with a little bit of JavaScript that's put on the thank you page. With mobile, you don't have the luxury, especially in an app environment, of being able to drop a cookie or use JavaScript. So you have to use something a little bit different. So here, if you have a conversion, here's a typical conversion pixel. It's an image, a 0 pixel image or a 1 by 1 pixel image. With a postback URL, you basically the app or whatever website you're going to actually hits this URL and lets you know that a conversion has occurred or an event has occurred. So these are both ways that you can do conversion tracking and audience targeting in a mobile environment without any use of cookies. And then, so here I'm going to launch a mobile campaign. These are all the tactics that Tom mentioned. There's a variety of programmatic tactics. What we did was we created a hyperlocal campaign. And so when we were setting it up, we set up a landing page. We didn't put a frequency cap because we wanted to completely saturate this area, and we didn't want to have any other advertisers win above us. So we put no frequency cap. You might think that that's a tremendous waste of money, but I'll show you in a second that it's actually quite effective and quite cost efficient. We set our maximum bid to $8. We didn't pay $8. I'll show you what we actually paid at the end of the day. What we also did, and this is the second way of collecting audiences or collecting device IDs. So we have a feature called audience capture. With audience capture, you can capture people that click or in a mobile environment tap on your ad. And so what we did was we created an audience called AdTech SF 2015 visitors. So anybody who tapped an ad gets added to that audience. So that's a second way of kind of bringing mobile device IDs into the platform. And so the next thing we did was we created a geofence around the Stony Center. So I'm just going to zoom in here and find it. So I think it's roughly...
It goes southeast. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So that's, just going to adjust the geofence here. So it was roughly this big. We created a geofence around the area. Pretty much anyone staying in a hotel, if anyone's staying at the Intercontinental, for example, their mobile phones will be targeted. I tested it this morning. It was working on my phone as well. If you have something like the Score or the Kive or something like that installed on your phone, you'll see our ad. In fact, I know that it's working because a few people walked up to our booth and let us know that they saw the ads, and so it's effective. So that's pretty much it. And then what we did was, after we created the geofence, we just basically ran it across all the exchanges that are in the programmatic marketplace, so that we had maximum reach, because really this campaign was all about location and not about publishers. It wasn't about even audiences. We weren't doing retargeting. We were just doing a pure geofence campaign. And so we launched that, and I'll show you what the results are so far. So we set our bid to $8. We've bid on 6,000 impressions so far today. We've won most of them, 5,400. our effective CPM has been $1.95, even though we were bidding, $8. So for those of you who aren't familiar, in the RTB environment, it's a second price auction. So you only pay as much as the next highest bidder. So if I'm bidding $8 and the next person is bidding $2, I pay $2.01. So you can see here we spent $10 so far today for all those impressions, all those highly targeted impressions. We've had 19 clicks, 0.35% CTR. Yeah, so if we look at the stats of the campaign, we can kind of reverse engineer and see where the clicks are coming from. So we can see, Grindr and the Kive and the score and so on. So I wonder if we have a total here. Yeah, so here we can basically see the performance by the app. We can also see, we can change dimensions and we can see the performance of the actual creatives themselves. So we can see how our different banner sizes are doing. So, full screen interstitial mobile ad versus, a 320 by 50. And we can see the different eCPM or the effective CPM. So the full screen interstitial has an effective CPM of $5, whereas the 300 by 250 is $1.93. So we can see the different performance by ads and so on. So that's pretty much a quick demo. I don't want to belabor it, but I hope that kind of gives you a sense of what it looks like